In the fall of 1989, a casual gathering of the descendants of James G. Payne and his son James Alexander Payne of Christian County, Missouri, met at a local restaurant in the Springfield, Missouri area. I am Stan Payne, a great-grandson of James Alexander Payne. I was not at the gathering at the restaurant, and I found this video on my mother's computer 1 year after she passed away in 2021, and I found this video in the summer of 2022. I decided to put this on YouTube, but thought it was necessary to give a brief introduction to each speaker, as I was unfamiliar with most of the people except my direct aunts and uncles. There are a couple of aunts and uncles that my father spoke highly of, but I had only heard their name and I had never seen their faces. It was hard to sort out who was whom when I was listening to the people speak at this gathering. So, before each speaker, I provide a diagram and I briefly describe how each individual that follows my introduction fits in with the family. Thank you. Annabelle Payne Duckworth Gideon, daughter of Everett Payne and Avis Opal Payne, granddaughter of James Alexander Payne and Weltha Williams Payne.
Okay, well, and we'd like for each one to give us your name and how you fit into this family.
Birthday.
Birthday.
Be sure and say your birthday.
Birthday.
Yeah, if you have any.
Yeah, she doesn't like that. I'm Annabelle Payne Duckworth Gideon. I was born March the 18th, 1933, and I'm the favorite sister of my three brothers. We are all children of Everett Payne. I guess that's it.
Okay.
Jesse James Graham, son of John Graham and Esther Payne Graham, grandson of James G. Payne and Sophie Jane Berry. James G. Payne is my great-great-grandfather, and Sophie is my great-great-grandmother. And Jesse James' mother is my great-grandfather's sister.
Where do you want to start, Steve?
I think we're going to start with the person that's 99.
Okay, we're going to start with you. Give us your name and
If you have any good jokes, too.
Jess Graham.
Well, let's see now. How old are you?
When's your birthday? March 14th, birthday. 4 99.
18 and 91.
Born in 1891.
18 and 91.
And then how do you fit into the Payne tribe?
I don't know hardly. I don't know cousins.
Well, you'd be second cousins, I
Brother-in-laws.
think.
I don't know.
Well, I might explain. Jess's grandmother was my grandmother. We had the same grandmother. And there's some of you here that she, Aunt Sophie Jane Payne, would be your great grandmother. And there's some here that she would be your great great grandmother. So that's how Jess's mother and my dad were brothers and sisters. So that makes us, since he married Corrine's sister, that makes us in a mess. Brother-in-laws and cousins, yeah.
Remarkable gentleman.
Jesse got
Long
your
way
game.
Walter Payne. Walter was one of 4 siblings who were born to James Alexander Payne and his mom, Weltha Williams Payne. One of his brothers was my grandfather, Everett Robert Payne.
Yeah. Walter Hart Payne, born 1910, and June the 20th. I guess that's about all I ever done except climb up a tree and couldn't get down. had to tie all my clothes together and get down out of that tree. The ladder fell down.
Ralph Payne, father was William Almost Payne. William was one of the 4 siblings that was born to James Alexander Payne and Waltha Williams.
I'm Ralph Payne, and I was born in 1925, December the 2nd. And I guess that's about all I know.
Which is your dad?
Alice Payne.
Alice Payne.
Alice.
Almost. Uh-huh. All right.
The other direction.
I have a brother and sister, which are all right over there. That's about it, I guess.
Have you ever been filmed before?
Well, I was on KY3 one time.
Now you can take this and watch it in the privacy of your home, too.
Ada Meek was married to Jesse James Graham. Jesse, once again, a grandson of James G. Payne.
I'm Louise Graham. I was born on July the 3rd, 1910. And I'm Jesse's wife, and I guess I'll be second cousin by marriage. I suppose that's
Second cousin by marriage, what now?
Jess Graham. second
Jess,
cousin.
okay.
Yeah.
Didn't tell, no, she used to work for John Deere. If you're a John Deere man, an awful lot of people say, well, he's a John Deere man. Well, there's a John Deere woman.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
And my blood was even green when I worked for them.
She got
Looks like a deer.
She got $35. She got $35 a week, and I got 12 and a half, I think. And I often wondered how Jess ever caught her, because you know, there's nothing runs like a deer.
Corrine Bessie Meek Payne. She was married to Walter Payne, and Walter Payne is one of the sons of James Alexander Payne and Waltha Williams.
I'm Corrine Payne, and I married the winningest guy in the country, that's Walter. And I was born in 1912.
1912.
June 1912.
Well, what was your maiden name, Aunt
Me,
Corey?
Corrine Meek.
Lucy Payne Owen, formal name Lucinda. She was born to Francis Patrick Payne. People called him Pad. He was a brother of my great-grandfather, James Alexander Payne, and she was a granddaughter of G. Payne and Sophie Jane Berry Payne. Lucy had married my grandmother's brother, Roscoe Owen. My dad would call him Uncle Ross. Uncle Ross' mother was Lula Bell Oatman Owen, and Ross's father was George David Owen.
Your next.
I'm Lucy Payne Owen, born November 4th, 1970. I'm a cousin to Walter and Jess. And Anthony Jr. Melvin then.
And you are really our second cousins too, aren't you?
Yeah.
First cousins and
Second
second.
cousin and an aunt
Yeah.
on the other side.
Yeah.
Helen Snyder Gordon was the daughter of Eva Payne. Eva is my grandfather's twin sister, one of 4 siblings that was born to James Alexander Payne and Waltha Williams Payne.
I'm the only child of Eva Payne Snyder. When I was born, they quit. I have cousins here. And this is my husband, Jack Gordon.
Hello there, Jack.
When was your birthday year?
Oh, August 24th, 1928, when my mother became pregnant at a good time so I could retire before school started.
Oh, that's
Good.
great. And you have just now, just in the last few days, been out.
This yesterday was my
Yesterday, this is celebration time.
It is.
That's great.
Hallelujah.
I think we should say that Aunt Evie and my dad, Everett, were twins.
Oh, twins. How could I forget that?
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm such a klutz.
Where do you live, Helen? Is it Kansas someplace?
El Dorado, just east of Wichita. Remember Dr. Hardy? Oh, he gave me a hard time. That's why I dropped out of the master's degree program. WSU. I couldn't get it. Oh, he's funny. I know a lot of jokes, but I can't tell them here. Just think that Grandma and Grandpa Payne would be proud of their grandsons and granddaughters. They'd be so proud of us. We're all professionals. Wow. We are professionals.
William Howard Payne was the son of William Almus Payne, and Almus was one of the 4 children that was born to James Alexander Payne and Wiltha Williams Payne.
Okay,
Me,
you're next.
Howard Payne, son of Almus Payne, February 4th, 1923.
Well, have you got your speech ready for us? The one that you're going to practice on?
Well,
I wish we had a
everybody
piano.
ought to go to Colorado. That's a good place. Need people. Times are hard out there.
What line of work were you in Colorado?
Me, aerospace.
What, aerospace?
Aerospace. You didn't know aerospace or it would mean anything to you. I estimated and controlled cost, and finally was a facilities engineer in charge of moving and running the whole place, 2,500 people. That's when I quit.
That's when you quit.
But do you still play the piano, Howard?
About once a year.
About once a year.
I got a piano in the basement, but I can't play the songs we used to. My hands are stiff.
Oh, I used to love to see him come out of
Oh,
the house.
yes.
Oh,
That old honk, that thing, that piano just bounced.
and he always, the one thing that always got me, they always played all the black keys.
Yeah, basically
Yeah.
the black key.
Irene Payne Glenn. Irene married Myron Glenn. Irene was the daughter of Ida Bell McDonnell and William Almus Payne, William being the son of James Alexander Payne, one of 4 children born to James and Wiltha.
Okay.
Irene plays piano too. No, I'm sorry.
I'm Irene Payne Glenn,
Uh-huh.
and I'm the oldest grandchild in the Elliott Payne family. No, are you really?
She's got it figured out.
Yeah, I am.
She can add.
When's your birth year?
February the 19th, 1921. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Rosalie, wife of Howard, Howard being one of the children that was born to William Almus Payne.
The camera's focused on it.
Ready for me.
Uh-huh.
I'm Rosalie Payne. This is my husband Howard. And I'm not going to tell you my age.
We're going to
That's
guess.
all I have to say.
Lord.
She's not quite 99 anyway.
That's all I have to say.
Emily Payne, she's the daughter of Charlie Payne. There's a picture of Charlie and Charlie's wife, Alberta, a mother and father to Emily Payne.
All right. Smiling. Uh-oh. You've had this happen to you many times, I can tell. The camera's loose once again.
My name's Emily Payne, and I was born April 1st, 1974. And he's my grandpa.
Okay. Whereabouts are you from? Nexa. Oh, anything else? Highs to anybody or whatever?
I think she said she didn't know she was related to all these people.
Oh, she didn't?
Alberta Payne, she's the wife of Charlie Payne, Charlie being the son of Walter Payne, Walter the son of James Alexander Payne, and Waltha Williams Payne.
Righty.
I'm Alberta Payne, Emily and Jennifer's mother, and Charlie Payne's wife.
Okay.
And
And this is Charlie here? Okay. Excuse me, go ahead.
I'm not retired yet. I'm still teaching school, so I'm envious of all these other teachers. who are
So,
retired.
what's the countdown?
Well, it's quite a ways to go. Too long to count. I was born February 6, 1943. Oh, and my ancestors are Gideons, distantly related to Annabelle's husband.
Okay.
Everett Robert Payne Jr., my dad, son of Everett Robert Payne Sr. and Avis Opal Owen. Everett Sr. was one of the 4 children that was born to James Alexander Payne and Waltha Williams Payne.
I'm Everett Jr. Payne, and as 3 of the rest of you are all but Leroy, I might introduce my youngest brother. Leroy's not here, and he's the only one of the cousins that isn't able to be here tonight. And the 4 of us, myself, Melvin, Annabelle, and Leroy, are all 3 years apart in age. I was born December 11th, 1927, and how I can remember Ralph's birthday is because we're just 9 days apart as far as birthdays. We're 2 years apart as far as age is concerned. And when Howard used to play the piano, I used to just love listening to him play, like Annabelle said a minute ago.
You wasn't bad.
Well, I became inspired from you, and when I asked him on purpose, how long has it been, or do you play the piano very often? He said about once a year. And I've got to tell you this quick story. I play about once a year too, and when my youngest son was home a year ago Christmas with his girlfriend at the time, they got me playing some of my stuff, and they were sitting behind, and Steve was taking the video of this, and they were saying, "Keep going, Daddy, keep going, boy, it's wonderful." And I had my back to them, and I was just playing and getting all this, just having the best time. And finally, when I got to see the video, they were back there in the back of the room smooching and hugging and just keeping me going. I think this is a great thing to have this get together.
Give your birthday here.
I did December 11th, 1927.
You did.
And I might mention for the record that everybody knows our dad was Everett Sr., but our mother was Avis Owen. And she was the sister of Aunt Lucy's husband, Uncle Ross. So I think I've talked enough.
Take my granddaughter's picture.
Yeah, get them before you.
Jennifer Payne, daughter of Charlie Payne and Alberta Payne.
I have to be at work at 6. I'm Jennifer Payne, and this is my dad. This is my grandpa, Walter, and I was born on April 27th, 1970. And I guess that's about it. I've got to go. This is my boyfriend, David. He's from Springfield.
I just got picked up hitchhiking on the way over.
Okay.
It's nice meeting everybody.
Nice to see you. I don't mean miss Charlie. I don't get a chance to see him. I'll try to give everybody a call before I go, because I'm going to Wichita Falls. I will.
Tornadoes will sure get you.
Yeah, I think tornadoes blown away.
Charlie's the son of Walter Payne, so Walter's the son of James Alexander Payne and Waltha Williams Payne.
I was born October the 30th, 1939. Walter Payne is my father. I guess, and Corrine is my mother. She pointed to herself. I'll point this out.
You gotta get recognition when you can.
I never heard that. She said who guessed you were.
But
Did you say you guessed I was?
She said yes, he was.
but anyway, I think I'm the youngest grandson of Ellen Payne.
And I'm the oldest.
Yeah, I'm the youngest.
I think maybe the coal man was had something maybe.
That's why he's got brown eyes.
Melvin Payne, son of Everett Robert Payne Sr. and Avis Opal Owen Payne, my grandparents. Melvin had an older brother, that was my father, Everett, and a younger sister, Annabelle. A younger brother, William Lee Payne. His grandfather was James Alexander Payne and Waltha Williams Payne.
Okay, Melvin, you think you're going to escape, huh?
Yeah. I'm Melvin Payne. I'm the second son of Everett Payne. I was born September 16, 1930. And I'm sorry, but I don't play the piano.
Yes, you do too. You are my sunshine.
You don't have any words of wisdom?
No, I saved them for next week.
Still paralyzed.
Fern Payne, wife of Everett Payne Jr., my mom, daughter of Robert Patrick Bergman.
I'm Fern Payne. I'm married to Everett Payne. I was born January 8, 1930, and I didn't retire from teaching, I quit. I changed jobs and have never been happy. So, good luck. Well, I'm going to take this.
All right.
Wasn't Alex Payne a teacher? How long did he teach? Tell that on the.
I don't know.
How long?
He taught about 5 years. And it might be interesting for you teachers to know that he walked from Toy Creek to Stone County to Mernville College to get an education. He would walk over there on Saturday and go to school there through the week and then walk back home. And when he graduated from Mernville College, Mr. Ed Bennett was the county superintendent, and he went out there to get his teacher's certificate. Mr. Bennett was plowing corn with a mule, and Dad told him, he said, I want to get a teacher's certificate. He said, well, let's go out here and sit on the fence, the rail fence. And Mr. Bennett asked him several oral questions. And he said, you qualify. I said, I'll send you a teacher's certificate. And he took his teacher's examination sitting on a rail fence.
Now, how far was this that he walked, miles-wise?
Well, from Torrey straight through east or west of Mernville, I imagine it was right close to 14 or 15 miles. There you go. Now that's around the road. You would go across the country. And it was interesting to know that some of the students he taught, especially at Lone Hill, was 22 and 23-year-old boys that was going to school there. Great big boy. I got a picture of him in the Lone Hill school. And those early teacher certificates, the next teacher certificate he got from Jonathan Fairbanks here in Springfield. I've got one of his teaching certificates. And then there was another superintendent that gave him a teaching certificate. He taught in Greene County and Christian County mostly for about 4 or 5 years, $35 a month. That's about the history of James Alexander Payne.
How?
21, 22.
Hey, Steve, I want to tell a little story to follow up to this because I just can't help but do it. Now, Uncle Walter, I heard this story that you told about Pop Payne, but how I happened to hear it was when I was teaching at SMS, I used to have interviews with all of my college students at the end of the semester, and we inevitably get off the subject, and we talk about everything other than what we should have been talking about. And this lady was from Nixa, and so I just said, by any chance, do you happen to know my uncle? And she said, I said, Uncle Walter. She said, oh yes, he's one of our very best friends, and started telling me about Uncle Walter and Corrine and playing the fiddle and everything like this. So she told me about Pop Payne walking to get the certificate, and that's the first time I'd heard that story. So I was telling her how much I appreciated getting to find out about my grandfather from one of my students.
That's my big brother, Steve Payne, son of Everett Robert Payne Jr. and Ruth Fern Bergman Payne.
True Payne.
I love pie. The person that's filming that right now was sitting right over there. Of course, you can't see that on camera, but that's my mom. This is my dad. Aunt, uncle. Let's see. I guess that's everybody else. I guess we're related somehow. Anyway, my name's Steve Payne. 7/11/52. I'm 37, and I live here in Springfield. And I'm almost done eating.
Yeah, you might tell about your brother since he couldn't be here.
My brother is 2 years younger. He's 35. His name's Stan. He's in Kansas City. Works as a systems analyst for a couple of the airlines, and so he was unable to be here. So anyway, anybody else have?
And then me, Stan Payne, son of Everett Robert Payne Jr. and Ruth Fern Bergman Payne.
About Pop Payne, and I don't believe I've ever asked you this question or anybody else, but when I go down to spend time with Pop Payne and Mom Payne, he inevitably in warm weather would go out there, and he used to call it hunker down, and he'd get up against one of those big trees out there in the front yard, and he just kind of sit in a squatting position with his back up against a tree trunk, and he could sit that way for hours, it seemed to me like, and I never was able to figure out how he could do that. Do you have any idea of how he was able to do that?
I guess because he's kind of skinny, tall, and he made a good baseball catcher because he can get them knees down and sit that way for a long, long time.
Well, do you all remember how he used to grunt?
I guess.
When Charlie was real little, we was down at the barn, we used to come to the house, and Mr. Payne was all bent over, he was used to grunting, and Charlie was following him, and he was grunting too.